It is another edition of the On the Mic podcast, and I'm very excited to talk to my next guest. And I'm not just saying this, one, because she could beat me up, but two, because she's here. She had one of my favorite finishes in all of the PFL earlier this year. And I know the last fight didn't go her way, but I'm very excited to see her get back inside the PFL Smart Cage on August 18th. The one and only Amber Leibrock. Touch them up. How are you?
What's up? How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Thanks for coming on. First and foremost, let's just kind of talk about how has 2023 been for you? Obviously, I know this last fight did not go your way, but how has the PFL season gone for you?
It's been great. I love it. I love PFL. I love this year. It's been, even though the last fight didn't go the way, we wanted it to, I definitely believe everything happens for a reason. And it's just been amazing. It's been amazing being a part of PFL. It's been amazing fighting so much. It's been amazing fighting the best featherweights in the world. This has probably been one of the best years of my career. It's been a very fulfilling year in my life. It's been a year of growth, and I really can't be mad at it.
Yeah, and one of your most active years. Just kind of looking at the last few years for you. What's it like being so active this year?
It's great. It's amazing. I hope that my years stay like this because, there's been no time to really lay off or get out of shape. You're just building on your cardio, your conditioning, you're learning so much. And, I'm 35. I'm not going to be able to do this forever. So if I could pump as many fights out as I can before retirement, whenever that's going to be, I'm for it. And I've spent a long time on the shelf, and I'm tired of being on the shelf and ready to be in it. And here I am. And I hope this continues.
Well, I mean, up until your last fight, you were fighting a 4-fight win streak. And obviously, like you said, it wasn't as active as you would like to be. So did you come into 2023 with a little bit of the Roy Jones mentality? You almost forgot and you wanted to remind the world who you are?
Absolutely. I've been a featherweight my entire career. I've been doing this for almost 10 years. And, I think people forget that I'm here. I've been around. I've been to some of the best organizations. I've fought some of the best women. I'm continuously fighting some of the best women. And that's really how all I wanted this year was to show everybody Amber Leibrock's back. She's here. She's at the table and, she's eating. And I wanted everyone to remember who I am. And like I said it, remember the name. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here and I'm here to stay.
What do you make of your opponent then? Because it sounds you're very focused. And I always say someone who, like yourself, who comes in with your mentality of letting people know, y'all must have forgot your last fight doesn't go your way. That makes me feel like your next fight makes you all that much more dangerous.
Absolutely. Yes, Marina, she's so skilled. She's on a good fight win streak of her own. She's a grappler, sambo, champion, didn't get finished by Kayla, all these things, amazing athlete, super honored to step in the cage with her. But this is my time. And I gave Larissa Pacheco a little bit too much respect, came out real slow, and I paid for it. And that's not going to happen again. I'm blessed to have another opportunity. And I've been saying this, that I believe in fate. I believe in destiny. And there wouldn't be a reason why I'm still in it if I'm not supposed to be in it. So I'm coming full force. I'm coming guns blazing, and I'm coming to knock her out, finish her, whether it's the first, second, or third round. I'm not playing around anymore. I'm not looking to just perform. I'm looking to finish these girls.
Well, thank you for bringing up the Larissa fight, because I always feel uncomfortable. I don't know exactly how to bring it up. Some fighters, they don't want to talk about it, but you said you gave her a little bit too much respect. Can you kind of expand on that and just what your mindset was coming into the fight? And now that it's months past, how do you feel like you gave her too much respect?
Yeah, in all honesty, in my head, I was I'm not going to be able to grapple her because she just spent 3 years preparing for Kayla. I'm not going to be able to finish her striking because she's so tough. If I'm going to win, it's going to be because I pull it out to a decision, 3 rounds. And I put limitations on my mind when that's not what I should have done. And she didn't do that with me. She came out hot. She came out first because she knew if I would have connected, if I would have landed, if I would have played my game, it could have been a very short night for her. And if you watch some of the replays, I was inches away from hitting her with the same shots. You know what I mean? PFL just did a replay that I just watched on Twitter where she followed up with the hook. If I would have followed up with the hook, I would have hit her. Just so many things. But anyways, like, yeah, I just gave her far too much respect, and just know like it's never happening again. Like, I'm going in there with the mentality of like finishing these girls. I got bad intentions behind my hands. I got bad intentions with my grappling, and I don't care how good anybody is. I'm just as good, if not better. And I'm coming in there and I'm showing everybody, and I'm going to take this season back, and I'm going to meet Larissa in the finals. Like, Marina going to have to kill me in there to take that W from me. And I promise you, I'm coming back to the finals, and I'm going to meet Larissa there. And it's going to be, it's going to be a nice little storyline. That's for sure.
Well, Amber, I hope this won't be the first and last time you're on the show. I'm ready to run through a wall. And I know we talked a little bit off camera before this started. I know we're going to get into something a little more serious, but I do want to ask you though, because as much as you're ready to just show the world and meet Larissa and run that back, not that you have to be worried about another person's fight, but she's taking on Elena Kolesnik, who I also had an opportunity to speak to this week. And we're talking about a woman who's lost pretty much everything back in Ukraine, back home. And, she's kind of got a similar mentality to you. I know Larissa Pacheco went from the hunter to now the hunted. Are you open to fighting Elena as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Elena I have no problem with Elena. I think she's an amazing athlete. I think she's an amazing person. And for some reason, she's got an issue with me. She doesn't like me. I think it's not just me personally. I think it's like any woman that's kind of like in her way, she doesn't really like, but she hasn't said some great things about me in interviews. So, either one. Like, this is the beautiful thing about PFL. Like, me and Marina, top of my priority list, but I'm definitely going in there to win and get my hand raised, get that W. Whatever happens between Larissa and Elena, perfect. Whatever's supposed to happen will happen. If I have to face Elena, I'll face Elena. If it's Larissa again, it's Larissa again. But the beautiful thing about PFL is if I don't get Larissa in the finals and they bring me back next season, I'll get her again at some point next season, and that is like the beauty of this, is that we will meet each other, whether it's this year or next year, we'll meet each other, and I'm hunting her down. I want her, whether there's $1 million on the line or another. I owe her a knockout, and I owe her exactly what she gave me, 45 seconds of some thumpers. And like, I want to repay that debt.
Yeah. I'm beyond excited for your next performance. Where does this come from? Where does this, obviously no fighter wants to be on the shelf, but what is it about you? And you're very skillful, and I wasn't blowing smoke. Your knockout earlier this year was one of my absolute favorites. And from a guy, not from a betting standpoint, because I don't bet on fights since I cover them, but when you looked at the lines and then I saw your last performance, it almost was crazy to consider you to be like so far apart on betting lines. Like, I couldn't see someone with such bad intentions going into the Larissa fight like a complete underdog. I didn't see you in that way. So what leads you to carry these bad intentions with each and every fight?
Because I'm not playing games no more. Like, I am a fighter who hasn't been very active. I am, 35 years old. I don't have another 10 years ahead of me. And this is my time. And I pray to God, give me the opportunity, that I can handle. I got this opportunity, and I'm going to run with it. I'm going to give it everything I have. I've spent far too long counting myself out, not feeling good enough, putting these girls on a pedestal. And it's no more. Like, this is my time. I need that $1 million. I want that belt. I want to show PFL that they didn't make a mistake bringing me on, and these girls are in my way, and I want it, and I'm coming and I'm taking it.
Well, I do got to ask, what is $1 million? And if I say Amber Leibrock, world champion, what does that all mean to you? Everything. Like, I'm poor, you know what I mean? I come from a poor place. My family is a poor family. I don't come from a lot of money at all. And $1 million just in itself is just financial freedom, something that, I'm not materialistic. I don't want fancy cars. Everyone's like, what are you going to buy with your $1 million? Nothing. I'm going to buy absolutely nothing. I'm going to put it away. I might buy myself an apartment, you know what I mean? Go rent to month. But honestly, I'm going to be so smart with it, because nobody in my family has ever seen that amount of money, even been close to seeing that amount of money. Shoot, the money I'm going to make on this next fight, when I fight and I get this W, is more money than anybody in my family has ever freaking seen, So it will change my life. And to have the world title, that's my own accomplishment.
accomplishment, you know, like that's my own, like I did it, you know, and that's what I want. I've always wanted the belt wrapped around my waist, whether it was another organization or this one. I want to be the top of the food chain. I want to be the hunted. So I got to get through these girls and show them like, what's up? Like now I'm at the top. Like guys can come and get it.
I'm super excited. I don't think anyone could sell a fight better than you. And if you want to become my financial advisor when you're done fighting, that would be great, because the fact that you said $1 million and then an apartment, like I could see why Amber won't be broke in 25 years from now after winning $1 million, because
For
so many
sure
people are
not.
like house, car, take care of my family. And then you're like, wait, hold on. That $1 million can go pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
So
The only person that's getting some new stuff is my dog. She's gonna get a new bed. She's gonna get some new toys. I'm gonna buy her unlimited bully sticks. Like that's it though.
I love it. I love it. Amber, you do have a story though, and it's a story that I feel some people would just give up on, whether it be themselves or those around them. I know you've overcome addiction, but I know that's a battle that's never over. When you look at where you're at now, and honest to God, I couldn't be happier to be talking to you at a personal time better than I am right now. But to finally be able to have a chance to talk to you on this podcast, because I've wanted you on pretty much all year, to see how confident you are. And if you look back at where your life journey has been in the past, have you had a moment to take it all in and tell yourself, I know it's a never ending battle, but have you had a chance to look back and go, yeah, I did it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I've said it over and over again, like I'm always a winner, no matter what, because of where I've come from, because of how hard life was, because of me losing my father, because of the way I grew up, because of the drug addiction, because of all these things. I'm always a winner. So every step I take, whether I win or lose actually in the cage, like you don't even know. Everyone I grew up with, people from my past, my family, they just message me all the time. I'm so proud of you. Like, thank you. Like, I get these messages from my brothers, and you know, they're really the reasons that like I've done everything, because they have gone through their own stuff, losing their own friends, their own loved ones, their own addictions, their own things. And you know, I get these letters from them that are like, you know, it's cool you're on ESPN, but what's really cool is watching you overcome. What's really cool is like your strength to persevere. Like what's really cool are like these other things. And it really does, when shit's like really hard, or I'm having like boy troubles, this trouble, that troubles, which all that shit happens, whether you're a fighter or not, you know, I have to take a second and look back and be like, don't let some stupid shit, like, you know, take you out your game. Don't let some stupid shit knock you off your pivot. You've come too far. You've gone through too much and you've come too far. So definitely there's a lot of reflection that happens.
So, and I'm very weird. I feel like every podcast that I talk about adversity, I bring up the show that's no longer on air. And maybe it's me making a public call for Kingdom to come back. But I thought that is the most real show to show what fighting is. And there's obviously some Hollywood effect to it. But, you know, I think there's a lot in that storytelling that fans and people around combat sports could really take if they took the time out to watch that show. And, you know, without being blunt, being blunt about it, how do you continue to just move forward? Because, yeah, the last fight didn't go your way. You're on a 4-fight win streak. I know, obviously, you're back to where you want to be here in this playoff run. But as you said, boy trouble, other trouble. It could be one slip up, and you know your mind could go to other places. How do you keep it strong?
You know, like, when I lost my father at a very young age, I lost my father to suicide. And so that has been one of the biggest struggles in my entire life. And it's followed me into my late years. It's followed me till yesterday. Like it follows me. And if I can get through that, because it happened when I was 8 years old, right? So I've had to live my entire life with that on my back. And if I can get through that, and still continue to not be on drugs, not have a million kids, not be in and out of jail, to still be alive, like all these things, to not fall into my own suicidal thoughts, my own depression. Everything else is so small. Everything else is so small compared to that. And there's no way. I have far too many people in my life that believe in me so much and count on me so much that I can't do a disservice to them by letting the small shit overtake me like I've done in the past. So this year has been a lot of standing on my own, making the right judgment calls for my life, whether they hurt or not. And, just keep trucking, dude, just keep trucking. Like, no matter what, just keep trucking. And I love what I do. I love what I do, whether I win, whether I lose. I love what I do. It was an amazing experience with Larissa. It was an amazing experience with Larissa, from top to bottom, whether the results were the way it was or wasn't. Like, amazing experience to have for my second PFL fight. Amazing experience the first time. Amazing experience in these other organizations I've been, because I come from so much of nothing, that to have these, like, win or losses, like these great moments, like these are things that will stick with me forever.
Well, definitely getting me a little choked up, because it's hard not to, obviously I shared some stuff with you before we started. So I will make this one a little more of a personal question, whether it's somebody who may watch you on ESPN and has their own addictions, which thankfully I do not, or it is somebody who has lost somebody to an addiction and they're watching you on ESPN, like myself. Do you want to be a glimmer of hope for both sides, and what is your message to those people? Because they're two different battles, but as you know, not only is the addiction battle one, but it's those who lose or have to struggle with someone with addiction. Those are both two very, very tough battles.
It's running rampant in the world right now, like drugs, fentanyl, addiction, like all these things are happening. And I do want to be a glimmer of hope. And I've lost so many friends. I've lost so many family members, whether it was to gang violence or drugs or suicide or, overdoses, whatever it is. Like, I've lost far too many people than one person should. So what I tell people, especially if you're dealing with people with addiction, like, they're sick. It's not their fault. You know what I mean? They don't. No heroin addict is like, I want to be most heroin addicts don't want to be heroin addicts. Most addicts don't want to be addicts, but they're sick, and I try, and it's hard. It's really, really hard. I cry every day. I miss my friends all the time, like all these things, but you have to live for them. You know what I mean? You have to do right for them. You have to do right in their name. Like, I lost my dad at a young age. I was 8. My father was only 25 years old when that had happened, So after I went through my periods of grieving where I was mad and angry and I blamed him, I just told myself, well, he can't be here, so let me do it for him. Let me do right, whatever I couldn't do for him, let me do for the next person. Like, so I just try to take my experiences, and I may not be able to help everybody, but if I can just help somebody, even if it's 5 years down the line, or this or that, like, you just got to keep doing good. And just because the world does a bunch of bad, or like bad thing happens to you or to your people, like, you just got to keep doing good, and you just got to keep passing that forward, and just try to keep helping people no matter what. Like, and don't give up on your people. Like, my little brother called me couple years ago and was like, hey, these are my struggles. This is what I'm dealing with. I don't want to do it no more. I drove all the way to Idaho, picked him up, got him, and he relapsed at one time, relapsed a couple times, and ended up losing his best friend, and now he's going through his own mental shit, but he's clean, he's sober, he's doing his thing. My other brother has been clean for a year, you know what I mean? So, like, you can't give up on your people, even if they take a few steps back. Like, just keep going for them, for sure.
Well, Amber, I think that was very beautiful. And I'm going to credit with the fact that you're a professional ass kicker for the reason why I didn't break down, even though I probably will once we hang this up.
All good.
I think it's special. And I know this is the first time that you and I spoke, but I hope it's not the last. I really look forward to it. I think you have a very powerful message. And, you said if you could help one person, I'll just tell you straight up, you just helped me, because I'm in that memorial stage right now, coming up on a 3-year anniversary myself. So you helped me, and that makes me all that much more excited on August 18th to see you back in there for the 2023 PFL Playoffs. And
absolutely.
I wish you all the best. I don't think you need best wishes, but I will say, once you go in and do what you expect to do, I hope to have you back on the podcast.
Absolutely. Whenever you want me on, I'm yours. Thank you.